right here, we have CAMSTA and NoBarBen getting their warm-up on.
Hey, we got any Aussies in the chat?
Say
on CAMSTA?
Yeah, so say hello to your boy. Shout out to the Australian crew, Team Australia.
Absolutely.
Making it out.
Chris is now part of apparently Team Australia, going off of his jacket.
Chat, fun fact. So, as you saw, all of the competitors got these amazing, upbeat jackets.
Yep.
Everyone, not only the people who made top 50, but there's a lot of people who made top 50 that couldn't be here for like personal restrictions, diplomatic reasons, and we actually had one competitor who had to fly back literally yesterday because of a family emergency.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, we got to hang out with him a little bit, but he had to fly back. So we made sure that all those people got jackets. But fun fact is that Chris for Life, and all the competitors, they have their name, they have their tag,
with their flag of their country of origin.
And for this week and this week only, Chris for Life is an Aussie.
Yes, he is officially an Aussie.
He's an Aussie. Yes.
Yeah, and also we didn't mention it, but obviously we have fan favorite NoBarBen also playing.
And I mean, his name says it all. You see, he is NoBar, along with Ringo.
I was gonna say, I really wish they could have like rigged the pool somehow to where NoBarBen and Ringo were in the same pool, and we would just have like both of them playing with each other and just destroying stuff NoBar.
I don't know if the chat would have been ready. No. I don't know if the stream would have been able to handle all of that hype. We would have had to evacuate round 1 because we would have just tore this the heck down, dude. It would have went crazy. But, you know, we got to spread out the love a little bit. But NoBarBen, one of the best NoBar players in the world.
Yep.
And you're seeing this right now as he's playing Kimono Princess and getting the PFC.
I remember, so I played with Ben at Eclipse East, and I remember like telling him, it's hard playing against Ben because everyone roots for him. No one is going to like root for you over NoBarBen. Like, no one wants to see you beat NoBarBen.
But at the same time, we do have CAMSTA, as we said, one of the Aussies, an amazing player.
Yep.
Player's been around for many, many, many years.
It was really cool. I actually got to play a warm-up set with him for, I guess, on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. That I think Tuesday, actually, when we first got here. So really cool. Awesome. I'm so glad we got to meet all these Aussie people here this weekend.
Yeah, and shout out to our sponsor, Red Gaming, for helping making this possible. Seriously, without them, I don't know how much of this tournament would have happened. Red Gaming, of course, a rhythm game company. Also, they have an arcade out in the Vegas area, so if you are
Shout out to the Vegas community, too. There's so many new school people, but I love the Vegas community.
Then, yeah, we have a couple of Vegas competitors here in the tournament. But nonetheless, if you are in the Vegas area, make sure you check them out.
Yes.
And word on the street is that they are looking into opening up a location over on the east. So if you think if you have some ideas,
like the eastern part of the U.S.
Yeah, if you have some ideas, you want to see that happen, make sure you hit them up on Twitter at Red Gaming.
Yes.
Also check out their website at rednotegaming.com. We want to thank them for
absolutely. Red Note has been amazing for this. My other understanding too is apparently they're doing a pretty major Step Mania X tournament around October. I was told it's actually a decently large prize pool. I know they did an SMX tournament last year. It's kind of like a thing to hype up Red Note opening up a location in Vegas.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty cool. That's actually something I'd be interested in. I've got an SMX setup at home, so.
Absolutely. So make sure you keep an eye out and check them out. So chat, we are about to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get this pool started.
Yes, sir.
We are starting off with roppongi D. Once again, this was Kevin's pick.
Oh, 100% Kevin. I actually talked with Kevin earlier. So he was debating about doing this. He wanted to do this. The one thing that he was a little bit hesitant about is because the pad distance here is a little bit more than we have a standard one, it makes sudden plus a little bit harder to toggle on and off. Yeah, and if you saw earlier on, he did end up getting the pad. He ended up getting the sudden slap. Yeah. But he had to reach for it. He had He had to not only reach, but he had to brace himself on the up arrow and use the tips of his fingers just So he actually told me something that I didn't realize with this. The freeze arrows, when you have like the left-right, it's either the left or right in slightly before the other one, so that can actually give you a little bit of, like, you can use your pivot foot to be able to get in and hit it a little bit easier. All right, here we go. Both players have a PFC on this. NoBarBen with an impressive 27 perfects, whereas CAMSTA has 50 perfects on this. So we're going to go ahead and see how this goes.
Both players looking crisp. NoBarBen so far with the right combo going into the...
NoBarBen's destroying this. And this is also one of those songs where, you know, you might be good at it. Both players have PFC, obviously, but if it's been a while since you've played it, the stop part that's coming up here can be a little bit tricky if you've forgotten it.
But both players showing that they are still mentally crisp, and it looked like CAMSTA did pick up a miss right there. All right, here we go into the stops.
Yep. Both players doing pretty good on that, so it seems like they both aren't having issues with it.
NoBarBen still sitting on the PFC. CAMSTA doing a good job of making up for the miss that he got and PFCing his way out of it. Handling this. Here we go into the drill. Right. NoBarBen still with the PFC. CAMSTA goes ahead and hits the
Sun plus toggle. Both players hit the Sun plus toggle successfully.
Beautiful. Great execution on the slaps, both of them. All right, here we go into the stop.
NoBarBen, unfortunately picks up the grade there. I was already so hard to use the PFC.
So, but still, let's talk about CAMSTA still with the PFC even after that miss.
Well, he's gotten the miss earlier, so he doesn't have the PFC. But
and picks up his first perfect out of that.
Good there, looks like, for NoBarBen.
And full combo from Ben.
All right, good job, Ben.
Ben with 1623. And CAMSTA with 1576.
Yep.
CAMSTA 93 perfects, 1 great, 1 miss. Ben with 46, 1 great and 1 good. Absolutely impressive showing not only from Ben, but also from CAMSTA as well.
And I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's been reiterated on the streams throughout the weekend, but playing in altitude is so much harder than playing normally. You know, it helps, like, being here for a few days, being able to acclimate yourself to it, but you do get tired, especially when you're playing 8 songs in a row, and a lot of these are, you know, some of the hardest songs in DDR. You're playing 18s. The pool B that had to do, what was it, 5 18s, and it's like in Damien and Max
pool,
Period.
That pool was wild.
That pool was wild.
But what's also wild, chat, is if we take a look at these records, it looks like CAMSTA has a 96.7, but NoBarBen with a 99.2.
Yo, triple Aing this NoBar? That is ridiculous.
It is pretty crazy.
That's so good.
So we're going to go ahead and see if Ben can go ahead and replicate that, maybe even get the up score.
Yeah.
And CAMSTA looking pretty good so far. Not too gassed. Just going ahead and wiping the sweat off of his brow. And let's see if we can go ahead and get this up score. Did a pretty good job on roppongi D, despite the miss that he caught. Here we go, chat. Song number 2. Eyes open. Let's get it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off slow right before we get into the speed up after this freeze.
Ben picked up a good there, looks like.
But CAMSTA is still sitting on the PFC.
Now, obviously, the first hard part's obviously this slowdown. It's really hard to be able to read it. Yep. Yeah, players picking a couple misses there.
But CAMSTA still sitting on the full combo. You know what? I'm sorry, chat. I did it again.
Commentator's curse. Commentator's curse. Also, this is a rough song to play when you're not fully warmed up. I mean, the players obviously had a free-song set to be able to warm up on, but it's really hard being able to go into, like, a very twist-heavy 18 when you're not fully warmed up.
Absolutely, and it's even more impressive when you say that we're playing at altitude.
Yeah.
And they're still getting pretty strong scores off of this. Just a couple of combo breaks for each of them. Nothing too drastic.
Yep.
NoBarBen breaking 1,000 EXC right there.
Doing really well, and I'm going to say, it's really impressive watching people do these crossovers to bar. Like, it's really fun watching him do it.
All right, here we go, chat.
This part's my favorite part when you have, like, the Apernova parts, where you have the side, that part. I love doing that.
See Ben do a pretty good job. He picked up a couple misses on that Scooby section. CAMSTA did as well as we go into the last speed up. And good run from both of them.
Good job from both players there. Again, that is not an easy 18 to do when you're not fully warmed up. at higher altitude, just because it's a lot harder to breathe up here.
Oh man, that being said, I have a meme in the works about Denver. I went to go ahead and just do a quick errand, run across the street to Target, and someone's like, yeah, it's right across that parking lot. And I go out into the parking lot, and I kid you not, it's a literal mountain that I have to climb. A literal mountain. And I'm just like, y'all in Denver, y'all are literally constructed.
They're used to this, but
you are constructed in a dissimilar fashion than I.
All right, we have to talk about my favorite song in the game, Deggers.
All right, 96-1 from Ben, 95 from CAMSTA, as we round out the way more ridiculous part of this set.
Yes, sir. I love me some Degger. So this was June's pick, is my understanding.
That is correct. And just so far, it looks like Ben is going to go ahead and play this at 1 1/4.
That's actually relatively slow. I mean, if you're playing your bar, you're going to play slower than normal, but just because of the speed up. I'm surprised he's doing it at 1.25. Like normally, you would, if he's doing 7+, you would usually do this like at 1.5 as the slowest.
Yeah. And CAMSTA using sudden plus, but also electing to play this on left.
Yeah. So for most people, if you're playing this song, you usually have two strats. You can either do left, which is probably the easiest consistent pattern you can get. It's still not easy, but it's probably the easiest consistent pattern. Or you do it on shuffle, where shuffle is going to be the easiest patterns, but there are a couple shuffle patterns you can get that are a lot harder than the others.
Yeah, and we saw that yesterday when Amber played shuffle on this. Amber ended up kind of getting a rough shuffle out of it. And you know, we said the shuffle giveth, and the shuffle also taketh away. So we're going to go ahead and see this. I think Ben is going to go ahead and play this vanilla.
Ooh, man, more power to him. Anytime I see someone play this vanilla, it's just like, Godspeed to you. It's so hard without a turn mod on it.
This tournament has been crazy so far, so I don't know. All I'm expecting to see is some good-ass DDR. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. We've been seeing good-ass DDR this entire weekend already.
All right, here we go.
Preliminary.
Here we go.
All right.
Oh, actually, Ben is using shuffle.
Okay, so Ben's using shuffle. CAMSTA, I don't know what happened there, where he had shuffle on and then turned it off, and then turned it back on. So.
All right, a little bit of recovery coming out of it. Not too bad. Ben still sitting on the full combo. Off of that, both players still, you know, having a little bit of a tough time kind of adjusting. I saw that kind of both of them with the shuffle.
Yep.
With the sudden flush. All right, into the slowdown.
Ben, I believe, still has a full combo going.
And CAMSTA doing a good job of making up for the misses that he got really early on. Nearly MAing that entire slow section. All right, the speed up. Ben picks up his first miss right there.
Ben actually got kind of a bad random here, just because you're going to have the double one where you have to do the double up tap into the left-right jump.
All right, both players breaking combo on those triple jumps right there. One of the most difficult parts of this song, one of the most unique patterns of this song.
That is absolutely the hardest part of the song, is trying to get the triple jack jumps in. Even the best players, including Chris, opted for a great combo there.
All right, both players nailing the sudden slap, choosing to kind of break combo off of that. That's pretty expected.
It's expected. We've seen that happen throughout the weekend.
And there we go.
All right,
NoBarBen.
to both players.
NoBarBen, 15-22. 13-19.
Very respectable score there from NoBarBen. 974K is a very good score on dead end.
All right, and now both players are now going to go ahead and get a little bit of recovery from that. You see CAMSTA just kind of going, oh, geez, I'm good. Take your time. Please take your time.
Take your time.
All right, so that being said, next up, we are going to go ahead and start off with Spanish Snowy Dance, then go into Sweet Home Party, and then end that off with Max 300 Super Max B Mix Challenge.
Yep.
I'm not, as I always like to say, as a commentator, I always have to remain unbiased. You know, I have to be very impartial, you know, give the clear and unbiased analysis. But I'm excited to see what Ben looks like. I'm excited to see his sauce on Spanish Snowy Dance.
So did Ben pick Spanish Snowy Dance?
Ben picked Sweet Home Party.
Okay, so he did Sweet Home Party. So Spanish Snowy Dance, I think, is probably one of the more, if not the most stamina-intensive 17s. I was talking about this with Hudson earlier, just because the first half of the song, it's like non-stop 16th bursts and runs and the 12th note stuff. The ending part's really easy, but you're so tired from the first half that you just like start streaming perfects because it's pretty stamina-intensive for that first part of the song.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to go Sweet Home Party, which was actually Ben's pick.
Yep.
The first two sets, we had some people that did have some chart unfamiliarity.
It's a very rough chart if you're not familiar with it. It's one of the hardest 16s to probably PFC in the game.
Yeah, and shout out to Chance in the last set for sight reading it and full comboing it off of the sight.
Really?
Yeah.
That is, I did not full combo that the first time I ever saw the song.
Not many people did. It is definitely a flag that you can fly pretty high for it. So as we look at the scores, Ben has a 99.4, but we have CAMSTA with a 99.2. So the scores are pretty close to each other on this one.
Now, obviously, in a tournament setting, scores don't mean too much because you're playing, on the spot. You're not fully warmed up. So anything can happen. It gives you kind of a general idea of how well the players can perform on the song.
Absolutely. And the fact that a lot of people tend to play up in tournaments and go a lot harder than they normally do, I wouldn't be surprised if we at least see one up score or both up score out of this. All right, so both players taking a little bit of time talking about the chart a little bit and keeping up that camaraderie that we love to see here in the rhythm game scene. All right, chat. And you love to see NoBarBen, but also one of our Australia players coming from the furthest distance of all the players here in this bracket. Let's see how CAMSTA does up against NoBarBen. Ben using that sudden plus.
Very interesting that he uses sudden plus, probably just because he's on 2-5, it looks like. So it gives him, he probably doesn't have an exact full scheme on, so being able to push that down a little bit probably helps him out a little bit. Yeah, so
CAMSTA is shooting the play at 3 1/4.
Yep.
Both players sitting on that PFC, showing that they know this chart very well, playing at a very high level.
This is one of the hardest parts because you have the crossovers coming up here with the 16 notes. Again, very stamina intensive, and then you get to the 12 notes that have like the Scoobies in them.
Yeah, and as you see, both players ended up getting greats, but CAMSTA ended up breaking combo on that section right there. Ben still rocking that full combo so far.
Just got picked up this here. Commentator's curse, right?
Yeah, and CAMSTA picked up a good coming out of it. So at this point, a little bit lighter. Both players going to take a chance to kind of reset themselves right before we get into this section right here. Oh, with all the, I like to call these the windshield wipers. Just kind of swaying back and forth and running the screens. A good showing of them hitting those jacks, the double jump right there.
Again, this is the second half of the song. This is much easier than the first half, but you're usually very tired when you get these kind of like gallops that we have coming up here.
All right, getting a little bit of a breather with these gallops. There we go, chat. The step jumps. Talk about the CAMSTA with very, very crisp MA on those step jumps. Yep. Not one perfect. Beautiful
Very
showing.
well job by both players.
21.84 for Ben, 21.28 from CAMSTA. Once again, I really was impressed with the MA that came out of CAMSTA on that ending section.
Did Ben just upscore? Or at least money score. I don't know if it's an EX upscore, because he had 994 and he just got a 996.
And yeah, he got an upscore.
Yo,
we take it.
Yo, we take those. We take those.
Hey, there's no score like an upscore, as I like to say. But going into this next set, Ben's pick, 90, he has a...
Whoa! 29?
That says something when you're even like, yo, wait a minute. CAMSTA with a 99.5, still impressive score.
No, that's a great score on
It's an absolutely great score, and that is within just reaching distance of a PFC. So we're going to see how this goes NoBarBen showing that he definitely has the history of the score on this chart. Well, CAMSTA, let's not write him off. He is getting some of that good H2 Izzo over there. Hydrating. Both players hydrating. And chat, once again, this is your reminder, stay hydrated.
Sorry, go ahead.
Whether you have water, juice, adult juice, Gatorade, pop, what have you, or soda, depending on your region, I hope you're staying hydrated. No one likes it when you're thirsty.
No, absolutely. Especially when you're here in altitude. One of the best tips I've got being here is like you're getting dehydrated more because of the altitude, so you need to drink even more water than normal. Yeah,
you may have more frequent bathroom breaks, but you're still going to be hydrated and moisturized. It's a good trade-off, I say.
Yep.
All right, so looks like Ben is locked in, and now CAMSTA is locked in. Chat, we are going to song number 5 of this set, Sweet Home Party Expert. All right, and as we said before, this song starts off at 134 BPM, has a part where it drastically and then immediately speeds up to 180 before hitting a stop and then repeating that all over again.
I really like NoBarBen's dynamic use of sudden plus. He's used it in multiple songs. You can see here he's using it. It's a very small amount, but he's still using it probably to get the most comfortable reading speed.
CAMSTA doing a great job, sitting only 8 points right behind NoBarBen. Picks up his first break right there, but MA is right out of it.
Yeah, he's doing very well MA-wise on this. And obviously NoBarBen still has the PFC going.
Both players showing that they have the knowledge of the tricky patterns on this chart.
That part's really difficult to time right. Slow down there. So we're about to get to the speed up part. This part becomes really hard to time into that stop. Probably the hardest part of the song in terms of timing.
Ben picks up his first grade, but MA's that entire section besides that grade. And CAMSTA amazingly doing a great job of recovering outside of that good that he just picked up after the speed up. MA's the step jumps.
Oh, good job for those players. NoBarBen killed it.
Both players with a full combo. CAMSTA with 13.
24 and 1?
13-22, 56-4, 1 good from CAMSTA, 24-1 from NoBarBen. Good display, amazing display.
Both players did well, but 24-1 on this.
That's impressive even with bar, chat. And we saw that, we've seen this earlier on with the first 2 parts of the pool. But we are going to go into the classic Max 300 Super Max Me Mix Challenge. This was Flash's pick.
Yes, who has it flagged? I didn't realize that he had it flagged.
Yes, it blew us away when we saw it too. It's just like, does this man have single-digit rates on this? What's going on? And did an amazing job on that chart. So both players have the PSC on this. Ben, he has 36, and CAMSTA with 51. So both players really have great knowledge of this chart. This is going to be very comfortable for both of them.
Yep. This is probably one of my favorite charts from the Supernova era. A lot of people really like this chart.
This chart's really good. This song bang.
I was going to say, I think either this or Paranoia Respect are like my favorite Supernova era charts.
I was a little spoiled on Respect just because I played a lot of like the PS2, a lot of the console games.
The home version. It came out on, was it Extreme Japanese?
It came out in Party Collection.
That's right. It was Party Collection.
And it was just kind of like out of nowhere, you know, Party Collection didn't have a massive song list, but then you have, it's the final unlock, and then you get to it and you're like, wait a minute, time out. And for at the time, the part that made it crazy is it was one of your first appearances of your crossover freezes patterns that Respect is infamous for.
Yep.
But we get to this, in which the 15, when it first came out, a lot of people loved it because it was a great remix of Max 300. And then you get the 16, and everyone goes, wait, what's up with that burst pattern where you're just constantly just doing that run? I remember some of the early tech was just, instead of like actually doing the pauses, which we'll see, is just a completely go step through.
Yep.
All right, so here we go, chat. We are going to close out the second set of this playlist. And both players now sitting on the PFC. Tie score.
Yeah, this is one of those songs that's relatively straightforward. You figure almost everyone is familiar with the chart, so you're probably going to see all the scores on this song pretty close to each other. You know, obviously, I think everyone in this pool is capable of PFCing this song.
All right, good skips from both of them. We're about to go ahead and hit the jump spam.
Yep.
NoBarBen only picking up one perfect during the jump spam.
Both players are very close to each other EX score-wise. CAMSTA's doing a very good job, too, as well.
Both players MAing that entire jump spam section at the end right before the slowdown.
Oh, unfortunately, CAMSTA picks up a great here in the slowdown.
Both players doing a good job hitting the double steps right there. Going to hit the free section right before we go into the triplets. All right, you can see them both locking in. They know what's about to happen. Here we go, chat. Eyes open. Cam MAing this entire section. Woo.
All right, getting to the final part. I love this inning run, too. Oh, all right, here we go. Woo, good job. We got the piff. 26? Is that an up score?
26 from Ben. 60 and 5 from CAMSTA. Good run from both of them. Absolutely impressive.
Yeah, Ben's taking a pick, I think, of it. So.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
We got the up score, chat. Do we have another up score?
No, Ben's got 2 up scores this set.
Yo, let's go. Chat, I see. Oh, wait a minute.
Chat is popping off right now.
All 475 of these eyeballs.
Dude, that's insane.
Oh, my God. You love to see it. Oh, this is some good-ass DDR. I saw Tizza say it in chat. Ben and Cam, they're really good at this game. It turns out.
Yeah.
They're really good at DDR.
Everyone here this weekend's good at the game.
This is what happens when you get 48 of some of the top players on the planet to converge together at one of the highest cities here in the U.S. Yep. You get some good-ass DDR. The air is hitting different, and we're having a good time, chat.
Dude, it's so awesome being able to watch it and enjoy it. I love it.
This is such a good. I'm so glad that you're all here. I'm so glad to be here, chat. We're going to go ahead and get ready to round out the rest of this set as we get these two locked in. We're going to start off with PTF, Pluto the First CSP.
Ooh.
This is a pick courtesy of, this was Rerhyme.
Rerhyme, interesting. I'm really interested in seeing Rerhyme. I don't think I've really seen him play much, but I've heard some really good things about him. So it's going to be him in June that's coming up after the set.
And then to round it off, we have New York Evolved Type A.
Yep.
Ooh, oh my God. Chat, here we go. Let's look at these scores. Ben with a 97. We have Cam with a 95. This is PTF. Those scores are just basically, they're similar. They're similar. We're just going to call it nearly identical.
For this song, yes.
Exactly. This song is, if you haven't seen it yet, chat, what makes this kind of nuts is that this was the first 18 in DDR to have shock arrows. And let's say that they kind of went a little crazy on the shock arrows. The song is very unrelenting early on with the shock arrows, gives you a little bit of a break, and then goes ahead and slaps you right back at you.
Yep.
Into the rest of the set. So it's going to be absolutely great to see how both of these two handle it. Ben has a very impressive score with a 97. At the same time, we did mention that this is a very long set. You have 3 warm-ups and you have 8 songs. This is song number 7. Maybe the fatigue, hopefully the fatigue doesn't set in with Ben and, you know, kind of make him a little bit kind of sluggish on the pickup with that. But anything could happen. CAMSTA, seeing how he just crushed Max me right there, I expect to see an up score out of him. I think it's entirely possible.
We've seen 2 up scores already. Why not a 3rd?
Absolutely. I mean, the momentum is there. The good vibes are there. And you can see that these 2 are definitely taking an extended break. Cam stretching out them calves, getting it in. It's definitely going to be needed for this.
This song isn't necessarily physically demanding, but it's so mentally draining because of the shock arrows. It's just, it's hard.
And on top of it, it's very visually spammy,
yes,
for lack of a better term, because it's just so dense with the shock arrows and having to parse the step jumps and the gallops right between them. So far, both players handling it very well.
Yep.
Sitting on the PFC for both of them right to the first stop. Ben picking up his first break right before the stop, and Cam finally picking up his break right there. All right, the 50 BPM section, very, very dense. A lot of the start of that mental drain that we spoke about earlier.
Unfortunately, this is one of those songs that it's such a high BPM, you don't have a lot of good speed song options, and like because NoBar has to play it on 1X.
Cam picks up his first break right before the stop. But comes out of it with just 3, 4 perfects right out of that.
Well, folks did very well. Oh, unfortunately, we got the first shock arrow miss there. I believe Ben still has a full combo on this.
He's still going with it. Picked up a good along the way. Cam just picking up his first break right out of that miss, the shock arrow miss. And Ben finally getting his first miss right there. Still no shock arrows on Ben's side. And just right there, yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier on. He's getting just blown away with all the shock arrows. And here we go into the death run. And Cam's a full combos in right out of the last shock arrows. Getting that nice combo right at the end. 1456 from Ben and 1350 on CAMSTA.
Yep. Money score-wise, Ben was not too far off his best. He had 970 for his best, and he got 966 there. So,
and it looked like it did look like Cam was actually incredibly close.
He wasn't too far away off his personal best either when it at least comes to money score.
Yeah, just barely, like a 94.9. So on this last on the set between the 2. It looks like CAMSTA has a 99.7 within striking distance of the PFC, and Ben has a PFC of 39 on the song.
This is the best New York Evolve, by the way. I love it musically.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All the New York Evolves share the same starting sequence, and then it ends up kind of mixing itself up. New York A kind of being, in my opinion, the more difficult one, as you have the 380 BPM that just kind of, it just goes.
Yeah, unquestionably New York A is the hardest New York Evolved, without question.
And as we did mention, chat, fun fact, all the New York Evolved songs, and this is a pretty consistent thing if you aren't relatively experienced or if you are new to DDR, sometimes the BPMs lie to you. Thankfully with this one, this doesn't lie to you too much. However, it does not go to 48. The song's lowest BPM is 95.
Really? I honestly never looked at the lower end of BPM there. So is it C that I guess goes to 48?
B goes to 48 and C goes to 48.
Okay, so both of them go
However,
to 48.
Type C only caps out at 190.
Well, both B and C cap out at 190. I remember playing B for the first time and seeing the 380, and I lowered my speed bot in half and being like, wait, what?
So yeah, you wouldn't be too remiss for getting mixed up. That's pretty common in a lot of the BPM songs in DDR. All right, we are going to go ahead and finish out this last set. New York Evolved Day, both players using the sudden plus this time.
Yep. And again, this is a little bit of a faster sudden plus toggle you have to hit, so because of the cap distance, it can be a little tricky to hit properly. Both players carrying the PFC so far.
Good job on the burst so far, still carrying the PFC. CAMSTA with a +10 up score. Absolutely just slaying it so far.
Both players are very close on EX score so far. Oh, okay, that's interesting. NoBarBen decides to toggle there a little bit more time, so I can respect it.
Still on the PFC, both of them looking absolutely crisp so far. CAMSTA going crazy on this upscore.
It's a pretty significant upscore from him. All right, we'll see if we can hit the sub plus here. This is usually where people hit. Got it, looks like.
All right, he decided to trade a great.
Yeah, but he's up quite a lot on his EX. And so he's carrying the PFC.
All right, here we go into the stop. Both players absolutely handling it flawlessly. All right, here we go, chat. Slow down.
Good
Gorgeous
job by both players there.
Ben still on the PFC. Woo! And we got the get it combo from both of them.
Good job by both players there.
Ben with the PFC 46, and CAMSTA with an absolutely substantial upscore. You love to see it.
Yeah.
GG's to both players.
So that wasn't at least was that a money upscore for CAMSTA?
It was.
Okay.
It was a money upscore and an EX upscore.
Nice. I mean, it was obviously an EX upscore, but was that also an upscore for Ben?
Ben, it was.
I don't remember what he had a PFC, but I don't remember what the EX count was.
If I'm correct, it was. No, it wasn't. Ben has 30. Ben had 36.
Okay, so he was just off by a little bit more, but yeah, still amazing by both players.
Good set, good showing, good set from both of the players. Absolutely love it as they take a picture. Good set. Thank you so much. GG's to both of the players. Australia, be proud of your boy. All you NoBar warriors out there. This is one of your heroes out there. Bringing some of this good ass DDR. This is what we're talking about. This is what we love.